Ruben was 29, big, quiet, always in the background, not the kind of guy people ask for advice or notice in a room. He worked night shifts, ate fast, slept little. No six-pack, no morning routines, no filtered gym selfies. Just a man who got tired of being tired. One day he stood in front of the mirror and asked himself, what if I tried, really tried? Not for them, not for show, just for himself. This isn't some story about instant change. It's about what happens when a man with nothing impressive decides to show up. Every single day, no drama, just effort. But here's the real question. Can effort alone be enough to change everything? He started with 20 minutes, walking, not running. His shoes were old, his breath was short, but he came back the next day. And the day after, no applause. No one tracking his progress. Just a quiet calendar on the fridge with scratched X's. He stopped drinking soda. He added one more set. He slept an hour earlier. Little things, done like clockwork. Not for motivation, for momentum. Because the hardest part wasn't starting, it was continuing, when nothing seemed to change. Some mornings, his knees hurt. Some nights, he wanted to quit. No camera watched, no playlist hyped him up. Just one voice deep inside saying, keep going. There were no big wins, no before and after posts, but his belt tightened. His breath got stronger. People didn't notice, but he did. And for once, that was enough. Because change isn't always loud. Sometimes it arrives dressed as consistency, day after day, step after step. One morning, a guy at the gym asked, "How long you been doing this?" Ruben shrugged. "Not sure. I just show up." That was the truth. There was no secret routine, no transformation plan, just presence, just repetition, and the slow, invisible carving of someone who refused to quit. He still looked big, but he carried himself differently. Not smaller, just steadier. Most people want progress to be visible. Numbers, compliments, trophies. But Ruben didn't measure it that way anymore. Progress became the silence after a clean rep, the steadier heartbeat after a set, the moment his shirt clung less to his back. Small things, not made to be posted. He didn't chase a finish line. He chased a feeling, a rhythm. And over time, that rhythm became his identity. His friends didn't ask. His coworkers didn't notice. But Ruben had changed, not in size, in presence, in how he walked, how he breathed. He smiled more, slept deeper, not because life was easier, but because he knew he was showing up for himself. For once, that felt like power, not noise, not speed, just quiet strength, earned in silence. Sometimes the scale didn't move. Sometimes he felt like quitting again. That's when the voice returned, show up anyway. Discipline isn't glamorous, but it's honest. And every drop of sweat bought back a piece of himself. He no longer needed proof. He just needed one thing, to be better than the man he used to be, even by 1 inch, even by one breath. Subscribe if you feel the same. Keep showing up. Months passed. The gym regulars nodded more. One even said, "You're looking stronger." He just smiled, because they were seeing the results, but only he knew the cost. Every rep carried a memory of wanting to quit. Every drop of sweat had a reason behind it. Not revenge, not validation, just rebuilding what had slowly broken. There was no final moment, no dramatic reveal, just a man who no longer ran from the mirror, a man who showed up every day, not to win, but to stop losing to himself. He still carried weight, but not shame. He still struggled, but with purpose. The journey didn't end. It just got quieter and stronger. Ruben never became famous. No viral videos, no before-after montages. But he became dependable to himself, And that's where real power begins, not in applause, not in attention, but in quiet repetition until strength becomes second nature, until effort becomes identity, and the man no one noticed becomes the one who never stopped.